So, from what I understand, Meridian is a platform for iOS and Android location-based services, right? Is that about right?
Yeah, it's it's a platform. It's a location-based software platform, is what we're calling it. It's a single app that runs on multiple platforms. Right now, iOS and Android. We just made our Android version of Meridian, and the idea is it's a single app, and any location can sign up to be in the Meridian app. And then when you launch Meridian at the location, it turns into the experience for that location. So if you walk into Powell's bookstore, which is a big bookstore in Portland, you'll see signs that say download Meridian. You download Meridian, it figures out you're in Powell's, launches the Powell's experience. You can search for any of their million books in stock, and it'll give you turn-by-turn directions to the shelf that it's on.
Okay. Yeah.
So things like that.
This location space is one of the hottest things right now. I think of location, social, and mobile. These all come together. Who else is a competitor in this space in terms of providing a location in this way for you?
Well, I mean, there are other companies that are very highly focused on indoor maps and navigation, but most of them are. They're operating on their own. They go to the website of the mall and download the mall's floor plan and stuff it into their mobile apps. As far as I know, we're the only company that is focusing on the location as the customer. So we work with the location. We give them the experience they want to give to their customers, and in return, they advertise Meridian for us. So I think we're pretty unique in that particular approach.
Do you think there could be ever run into a place where, say, Facebook Places came along, or Foursquare, or someone else trying to be a provider around the location, as you said?
Sure, yeah, and that's definitely where they're going. I mean, Foursquare is introducing, or have introduced, tips and other things that are designed for locations to jump on board and kind of put their content in there. It's difficult to provide very rich experiences with a one-size-fits-all kind of platform. Our whole thing is it's customizable and appropriate for the place, wherever you're at, and the place can customize it to be whatever experience they want. It's highly customizable.
Got it. So, in terms of the demand side, it used to be iOS, now you've included Android. What's the proportionate demand between the two platforms right now? How's that changing for you?
Well, I mean, we used to be Spotlight Mobile was our full-time thing, and we did apps for anybody. We did like the Barnes & Noble app, and nobody even asked us about Android until probably early this year. And once we started hearing requests for Android, I mean, obviously it's gotten more and more. But I mean, yeah, when we released our iOS version in March, we were planning on doing an Android version. But our number one piece of feedback from the release of the iPhone version was, hey, make an Android version. So we did that. It took us 4 months. We released it a couple months ago. And now we find that, taking all the people that have downloaded Meridian in the past 2 months, about 42% of them have been on Android.
Wow.
Which is a lot, some people had the app for iPhone already, but still, that's, thousands of people on Android, which is great.
Yeah, it's a very fast transition. So I was going to actually, ask why do developers need to pay attention to Android, but it seems like that case just got made.
Oh yeah. Now, if we had to start over today and release Meridian today, we would absolutely release on both platforms simultaneously. And you can't ignore one or the other.
So when you look at this specific area of expertise, which is to say iOS moving to Android, what are the most important things that iOS developers need to know when converting over to this other space?
Well, I mean, I can speak to my own experience in learning and developing, my first Android app. And I was surprised by the amount of similarities between the two. And not just the fact that they are both, similarly sized, touch-based interfaces. But that, in iPhone it's Objective-C, in Android it's Java. They're both high-level languages. we found that like a lot of our source code, when you look at like the Objective-C version and the Java version, there are large portions of the code that look almost identical. And even the structure of the apps from iPhone to Android, you have the concept of a view controller on iPhone, and then you have a concept of an activity on Android, and they're both ways to manage like a screen full of content. And it's like the same level of abstraction between the two. So they're really pretty similar.
So last question. This is sort of the big sky one, right? By the end of next year, are we going to be talking about transitioning people to Windows Mobile 7, right? We know the Nokia partnership and certainly their interest in this space is going to mean that there's a lot more dollars certainly from their part and probably market forces trying to create a third big app platform. Do you see that happening? What are you seeing in the market around that space?
I mean, I can only speculate based on my own experience, which I actually have a lot of experience developing for, using Microsoft tools, developing, C# for Windows Mobile back when that existed. And, Microsoft has a really great developer tool set, developer ecosystem. They've got a lot of smart people. I think Windows Phone 7 looks like a really solid platform. Obviously, they're a huge company with a huge marketing budget, and they can make a lot of them. I think that I think there's a very good chance we'll be porting it to Windows Phone 7 in the next year.
All right. Well, we'll get to Checkpoint at maybe Android Open next year. See where we are.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. That was Nick Farina. He's the CTO for Meridian.